As a psychic, medium, channeler, intuitive, um, you know, especially when this is like kind of newly turned on or newly remembered, you do question, or at least I do on a regular basis, like, should I check myself into the mental health hospital, or like, am I just a lunatic? And, usually spirit will do something to give me like some kind of proof or validation. Not always. Sometimes they'll leave me hanging and they'll really irritate me. This is something for validation that spirit had gave me, which kind of freaked me out. So if you've been here a minute, you'll know like something that usually will happen to me is I have this cabinet in my house that acts as a portal. And so usually at night when everybody else is in bed, I'll sit down on the couch to relax and the cabinet will start flickering. If I feel like editing the video fancy, I'll put a clip of it right here, like doing the flashy thing. And so anyway, it's got, when it does that, if you're new here, like depending on the spirit coming through, sometimes it's like both sides, sometimes it's one side, sometimes it's super bright, sometimes it's like twinkle, twinkle, like they all have a different frequency, and that it makes the light flickering different. So anyway, the night before, my daughter, she's special needs and she astral travels a lot when she sleeps. So what happened is that she's been astral traveling, but then she's like viewing down. So then she sees the house and then the bedroom and stuff. And so she'll be freaking out. She was having trouble sleeping because she was like, oh, the door is too little. Why is the door so little? And it was just freaking her out. So I had to do some stuff to help her with that. But that's a different story. So anyway, before I realized she was astral traveling, before I got to that part, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cover the door. I don't know what the problem is with the door, which doors are portals too. But I was like, I'm just going to cover this door because I need some sleep. So I put a sheet over this patio door that's in the bedroom and taped it up there and tied it up there and did all kinds of stuff to make it stay. And I'm like, there you go. Problem solved, baby. Door's gone. And all was well, right? And that actually did help, covering up that door. You've heard people covering up mirrors. So the next night, I sat down to relax. The cabinet starts going off. So I tune in like to see who it is, if they have a message, what they need. And it was this woman, and she was like talking about how I seen how you covered the door for your daughter. And I know that in that moment you just wanted to like scream because you were exhausted and you just needed some rest, and you just graciously like covered up the door and was like, it's all better. And I'm over here like, what? So I'm like, who is this? Because that this has never happened to me, right? And she's says her name, Lucille, and I'm like, Lucille? Who is Lucille? And then she mentions my husband, and I'm like, okay. So I go into the bathroom because my husband's taking a shower, and I'm like, do you know somebody named Lucille? And he's like, yeah. And I go, well, is she dead or alive? And he said, dead. And I'm like, well, apparently Miss Lucille's been looking at me hanging up sheets on our daughter's bedroom door because she just came through the cabinet to give me a nice compliment about it. And he's like, what? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, no, this is a true story. And so then he was like, wow, that's kind of cool. He's like, maybe you should tell my mom, like, Lucille said, what's up? Like, this stuff is just so normal in my house now that it doesn't faze anybody. But that, to me, was just like, so that's what got my brain thinking like, oh my gosh, or like, okay, they talk about the veil, right? The veil, spirits are on the other side of the veil. They can see us. But so my brain, I'm like watching these crime shows, and you have that mirror where you put the bad person in that room and you can see them, but they can't see you, type of thing. Like, I'm like, is that what's going on? So I always imagine these spirits that are just like sitting around behind that glass, like with some popcorn and a drink, watching what I'm doing. I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that story.